Today we are building a custom Barbarian army as well as a Black Falcon army for the LEGO Castle theme coming up. What's up everybody? Welcome back to Brickanics. My name's Andy and today we are going to build a custom Barbarian army using a little over or close to 50 minifigures. I'm piecing together minifigures from various different themes to make a custom Barbarian army, and we also have a little over 400 accessories from FireStar Toys to customize this Barbarian army, so I think it's going to be awesome. So we'll build that army in this video and I'll share with you how I went about doing it. We also have our Black Falcon army to build, and I have some custom accessories, or at least some special order accessories to kind of build up that army as well. Those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you know that we're predominantly Star Wars on the channel, but I thought it was time to branch out, diversify, and welcome another theme onto the channel, which is Castle. And it makes a lot of sense because I'm a huge fan of medieval times. I love shows like The Vikings, Kingdom of Heaven, Nightfall, Braveheart, Game of Thrones, all those types of shows. I've just always been a big fan. So I think that will bring a lot of passion to this theme, and I'm excited to build some cool mocks and to build this awesome, which I really hope is going to be an epic custom Barbarian, as well as my Black Falcon army. So our first order of business is to get organized. In this bin, these are all of our Bricklink orders, and this is our massive FireStar Toys order. If you like what you see from FireStar Toys, I have a link down in the description below. You can use my code to get 10% off. So we'll take a look at those here in a second. We have, bags of minifigures here. These are the Barbarians. We have our Black Falcon Knights right here, and then a bunch of various different weapons and things like that to customize the Black Falcons. And then in here, I just love getting this from FireStar Toys. But in here, this is our bag of just all types of heads and accessories and weapons and cloaks and cloths and just everything you can imagine is in here. So I think our course of action is going to be to kind of break it out here on the table. I can do a little bit of a cinematic, just kind of show you some of the pieces that I've gotten, and then we can start piecing these minifigures together, and I can start laying out the armies here on the table. So let's go ahead and get things organized. What? I got a shiny head. This is what I've got to do sometimes before I shoot, to get the shine off. All right, all jokes aside, we've got all the accessories put away and organized, and now the fun begins. So let's start by me showing you the minifigures that I've selected for the Barbarian army. So this minifigure here is Zom from the Prince of Persia theme, and he's going to serve as the basis for our Barbarian army. We're going to swap out the head, the cape, as well as the head gear, but his torso, arms, and legs are going to serve as the base to build our Barbarian army off of. And what I like to do whenever I'm looking to build a custom minifigure is I like to get on to Bricklink and search through their minifigures category. And there you'll find a listing of every single LEGO minifigure pretty much has ever been made but is currently being sold on Bricklink. You can find out who has them, how many they have, and what they're selling for. I was lucky enough to find a seller who had this minifigure for under $5, and they had about 40 of them, so I picked up all of them. So I'll show you why I was so excited about this minifigure. You know, the CMF series Vikings that you might find, they're just a little bit too expensive. So for, you know, a few dollars, picking up this body and then some accessories off of FireStar Toys, I think we have the great beginning here to our custom Barbarian army. I like the detail of the vest, which is basically a fur vest, which is very fitting for a Barbarian or a Viking. The belt here also fits, you know, the mold of that type of character, the dark brown colors, as well as this neutral kind of gray undershirt. So this is going to be really awesome to add some accessories to. The Prince of Persia theme was serving me well because this is another minifigure that we're going to use for higher ranking soldiers in the Barbarian army. We're going to ditch the swords on the back, and I'm also going to get rid of the legs, but this torso here is nice because it just looks like, you know, somebody that would rank a little bit higher in the Barbarian army, and it provides some diversity in the characters as well. I am really excited for this minifigure because you don't find many minifigures that are just bare-chested, and I think this is perfect for the Barbarian army. We're going to swap out the legs, we'll use a different head and some different hair pieces, but I have some really cool ideas for this minifigure here. And this is also Disdain, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's also from the Prince of Persia theme. So as you can see, our Barbarian army is based on the minifigures from the Prince of Persia theme, and I also have a couple other minifigures that we'll use in this army as well. So let's go ahead and I'll start building up this army for you. Alright guys, well, if this is any sign of what's to come, I'm super excited for how this army is going to turn out. This is our first Barbarian. He's light infantry. We've got the wood shield. We've got a nice light sword there as well, so he's very agile in the battle. We've got this hair piece here with the beard, a very grizzled look. I think that's coming together really well. And yeah, that torso and the legs, just everything here working out very well for this light infantry. Here's our next figure in the army. What I did is swapped out the headpiece and the hairpiece for a different color. Everything else is the same. You know, I want this army to be very diverse. I want each character or each warrior to almost feel like they have their own personality within the army. There's going to be quite a bit of duplication, but I want it to look like a mixed bag, right? They can't be so uniform. The torsos and the legs are going to be uniform, but everything else, I want to have some uniformity, but I want there to be a lot of diversity as well. Here's a guy with a black beard, black hairpiece, a little bit more of a worn down, beaten up, grizzled look, but nonetheless, these guys are really starting to turn out pretty well. Oh man, these battle axes look amazing. Just look at that battle axe right there. So this guy, you know, different head, you know, different color hairpiece, shield, but now we're going to give him a battle axe to kind of mix up the weapons that are being used a little bit. This guy's pretty cool. He's going with dual axes, no need for a shield, especially when you look as menacing as this guy looks. So, oh, look at the cool little armband. So that's a pretty cool little detail on this guy right here. Alright, so I went ahead and finished out this group of light infantry. You know, I swapped out a lot of the heavier axes that I was playing around with for these lighter swords because it made sense for this group to be light on their feet. Light shields, light armor, light swords. They got to be quick to move. And I mixed in some younger looking guys. So a lot of diversity between the head pieces and the hair pieces. Some guys with, you know, long sleeves, short sleeves. A lot of different stuff happening here. So I think that's looking amazing so far. And what we need to do now is work on this next line of heavier infantry. Look at this menacing group of dudes right here. Oh my gosh, these guys look absolutely insane. I love those shields right there. And those helmets are wicked. So this is the captain of this group, or I guess I should call him a leader. This is the leader of this group of heaviest soldiers. These guys on the end, right, there's 1, 2 here, and then 1, 2 here. They have smaller shields, and they don't have any heavy armor on their chest, so no chest plate. So they're a little bit heavier, but still trying to be quicker, but wielding some heavier weapons. They're a little bit more skilled. These guys are all skilled as well, but they are just decked out in some seriously fearsome armor. So we got a few more. Oh my gosh, I can't get over this. This is looking so good. Oh my goodness, this is looking so good. All right, so we have some more barbarians to put together. All right, so you know our leader that was right here? I don't know. I felt like he was missing something. He's leading this entire group of heavy infantry, and these guys look amazing. So I thought I would do him a little bit better, and I gave him that different torso there for the leadership roles, and this amazing fur cape, 2 axes. Oh my gosh, this is getting ridiculous. This guy looks amazing. Wow, that is so cool. So now he's proper. So I have 8 of these torsos right here, and what I want to do with these is make a group of berserkers, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And I thought some cool legs to use with berserkers would be chimera legs, because they just look a little bit more wild. They kind of have like those kind of animal paws, which, you know, berserkers might have worn some, like, you know, bear claw shoes, well, moccasins or whatever boots or whatever you call them back in that time. But yeah, let's go ahead and put together a group of berserkers. All right, here's our first berserker. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. I wasn't 100% sure on the headpiece, but you know what? I think it looks pretty cool. I think it matches the legs pretty well. This berserker, you know, they're wild. They were considered like demons. They weren't like real people. They were possessed, right? So you're going to get a mixed bag when it comes to these berserkers. You're going to have different types of weapons. They're completely individualized. So this guy is going with a tomahawk and a lighter sword there. He's going for a quick and being nimble. But let's go ahead and build the rest of these guys out. This guy is absolutely sick. Look at this, man. I love that fur piece around the shoulders. You know, that leg piece is looking very berserker-like. He's also going for some lighter weapons with the axe and the knife there. The face, man, that headpiece I just really like in combination with his hairpiece. I think he looks super menacing. This might be one of my favorite figures so far, besides, you know, our leader right there so far. We haven't even gotten to the king yet. Can't wait to see. I got some heavier guys coming, so I can't wait to see those guys. I decided to give this guy just a little bit of armor and kind of like a regular sword. He didn't need anything else. He's quite the swordsman right here. I think I want to make a Conan the Barbarian type of figure out of these. I have a special sword I might give him as well. Yeah, let's do that next. Yes, there is our Conan Berserker right there. Look at that sword. That's just that's a Conan sword if I ever saw one right there. That's awesome. So I just wanted to go a little bit plain on the legs, you know, plain on the torso as well. Just wanted to wrap a little bit of fur. We've got the, you know, the brown hair, a younger, angrier face there. So I think this is a perfect looking, you know, Conan type barbarian for our berserkers. So here's how I finished out the last 4 of the berserkers. So we have 8 of these guys total. This is what they look like all together, and I have to say it's a pretty menacing group of guys right there. That's like the definition of barbarian, this group of guys right here. Pretty wicked. Had to add a few archers in the back here, so they're looking pretty cool. This is a, you know, a little bit more advanced of a barbarian army. Obviously, you know, the armor that they have, they've plundered a lot of loot. They've been able to pick up some armor along the way, learn some skills from the various farmers and people that they've kind of indoctrinated into their tribe. And yeah, man, this is a formidable army right here that's continuing to grow. We've got a few more figures to add. We have 2 female characters to add into the army, which these look amazing. I love the headgear. What an awesome piece. The chest piece is great. The shield is awesome, and the sword works perfectly. So these are looking fearsome right here. I added a row of light infantry in the back who don't have a shield. So a lot of times, you know, these warriors, they didn't have shields. They couldn't afford shields, or they lost their shield and, you know, they had to go to battle without one. So this back row here, because they don't have any more shields, they don't get to have shields. So hopefully, you know, they can fend for themselves and defend themselves with their skills. We have 5 minifigures left, and these are gonna be the most wicked of the bunch. Starting off with one of the Barbarian King's personal guards. So these guys are the best warriors. They're decked out in the heaviest armor, and they are there to simply protect the king and slay anyone who gets close to the Barbarian King. Here is the second guard to the Barbarian King. He's got a much different and bigger shield, same sword and same type of armor. You know it's getting serious now. Oh man, this guy is an absolute beast right here. Now I might need to pick him up a shield. I don't have a shield for him or the next few people, so I think I need some more cool shields. But for now, this super big battle axe and this fearsome helmet and horns is intimidating enough. Alright guys, it is time to present the king and queen of the Barbarian army, starting with the king right here. And I must say, this is an amazing looking minifigure. That's a king's sword right there. He's got his fur wrapped around him. His crown, or crown slash helmet, is amazing. And you know, he has a different torso than everybody else, so he looks just a little bit different, and he has a different headpiece as well, which is important because I'm actually going to be giving names to all of the minifigures, and the way I'm going to tell the story and the way I'm going to build mocks around Castle, it's going to be following the story of all the individual characters that I just built for you in this Barbarian army, as well as the Black Falcon army, which I'm going to build here in a second. So let's get the king in here. And now it's time to present the queen, which I must say, I would not want to mess with her at all. At all. But here is the queen. And that is a barbarian's queen right there. Wicked hairpiece, right? We got some armor, a knife. She looks different. She's got a cape. She's looking epic. So our king and queen of the Barbarian army are right there. Guys, I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. This Barbarian army is looking fantastic. I had a blast putting each individual character together. It actually took a long time. It's the next day. I know I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm trying to keep some consistency here. But man, it took a long time. 4 in the morning. I was up until 4 in the morning piecing together this army. But they look fantastic. And like I said before, we are going to learn each of these characters. They're going to have personalities. The way that I'm going to build out my custom builds or the mocks is going to be a continuous series. So we're going to follow the journey of all these characters, of these armies, and all the mocks are going to be supporting a continuous storyline, and they're all going to be built within that storyline and just continue to tell the story. So I think that's going to be a ton of fun to do, and I think it's going to make it just, it's really I'm gonna have a lot of fun just in the creative process of just telling the story and then building the custom builds to support the story, and then giving each character, each custom Lego minifigure, their own personality within the storyline. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys follow along. So With that being said, what we need to do right now is we need to build the Black Falcons, right? So we got a whole nother army to build, which is the Black Falcons. Now, they aren't as involved, right? It's not as diverse of a setup. The Black Falcons, they are going to be more uniform. We are going to have some knights and some regular infantry in there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how that comes together. So let's go ahead and get started building that. All right, so we are kicking things off here with an archer, and a couple things you'll notice right away. First is that I don't have an archer's helmet, so that's something I do want to get, but for now we're just going to go with the standard Black Falcon's helmet. The other thing you might notice is that I've done away with the yellow head and we're going with flesh tones here. And that's just because for me and the story that I want to tell, I just want to be able to connect with the story, the emotion of the minifigures, and I feel like I can do that a little bit better using flesh tones. It just helps with the realism of the story for me. As funny as that sounds, since we're talking about LEGO minifigures here, but that's the kind of story and emotion I'd like to get across in the builds. And another thing that'll be a theme throughout the Black Falcons is that they're going to have a little bit more of a clean cut as far as it comes to their beard, so they'll be a little bit more well kept than you might see in the Barbarian army. So I'm going to have 2 archers because I gave the Barbarians most of the bows that I have, which I have 7 total, so I gave 5 to the Barbarians and I got 2 here for the Black Falcons. But we will grow this army, so we'll get more of these guys. Next up are the spearmen, and these guys play a crucial role during battle in forming the shield wall. So, you know, these guys, I have 10 of these guys. They're going to stand in the back, but when it comes to battle, most of the time they'll be walking to the front and forming that shield wall, both as a defensive strategy as well as an offensive strategy. So these guys will be crucial, and I can't wait to get more of these in the collection. All right, so we have our back line built up here with our 2 archers and our 10 spearmen. I must say they are looking awesome as well. I really like the uniformity, and I just like these minifigures. They look amazing. These shields, the spears, everything. We do have some diversity in there with the headpieces, so it's feeling like, you know, a group of individual soldiers in this army. So let's get the next row. Oh man, I was excited for this. I couldn't wait to see what the Black Falcons look like with a sword in their hand. And these great swords, they look awesome. So the next row, I'm not sure how many of these we'll have, at least 10, but we're going to have our swordsmen next. And these guys are looking fantastic. All right, guys, we ended up having 15 swordsmen. So this is starting to look really epic. And, you know, it's running through my mind. I'm like, well, who would win this battle between the Barbarians and the Black Falcons based on what you're seeing so far? But don't make that decision yet, because we have 5 more guys to put up front, and these are going to be the knights of the Black Falcons. But man, this is looking great so far. Alright guys, this is the knight build, and wow, this guy's looking spectacular. We've got some shoulder armor here for a shoulder charge. We've got the knight's helmet, which is looking great. The shield, the great sword, which is awesome. And then on the back, we have a Black Falcon's embroidered, or actually it's printed cape. Let me know what you guys think of this cape. I really would like to get your opinion on it. I think it helps differentiate these figures and just make them feel that much more prominent. So the knight is looking awesome. And the last guy here is our captain of the Black Falcons. I put the blue thing on top here just to help differentiate him a little bit as well and help him to stand out. But he's actually a little bit of an older fella here, so he is the captain, the leader of the Black Falcons. Now we'll see how that story progresses, if it stays the same or if somebody else steps up to lead the way. But that story will be told as the Black Falcon series rolls out. But I'm really liking this guy so far. All right, guys. Well, there you go. There's our two armies, and they're both looking epic. Both seem to have their strengths and their weaknesses. I guess now I can ask the question. Well, first, we have 52 minifigures over here in the Barbarian army, and we have 32 minifigures over here for the Black Falcons. But you know, numbers don't mean everything when it comes to a medieval battle. Experience, grit, all those things play a big part. Weaponry, shields, spears, all those things. But who do you think would win based on what you're seeing here? Our Barbarian Horde, which is looking very spectacular. Man, I just love all the different accessories that went into making these guys over here. Or do you think it'd be the Black Falcons over here and what you're seeing from this group? What am I missing? Horses, obviously. We need to get some horses in here. Those things aren't cheap, but we definitely need some cavalry over here for the Black Falcons. We definitely need a few horses over here for the Barbarians. But yeah, some stories, some epic builds, epic battles coming your way in the castle theme using these two armies. Alright guys, well I hope you're excited for some castle builds coming your way. I can't wait to start telling some stories with these minifigures and just start building some epic mocks with them. And don't worry, obviously we're still going to be cranking out plenty of Star Wars content on here as well. It's just going to be nice to have a little bit of a mix and, you know, keep it interesting. So if you're excited and looking forward to more castle builds or Star Wars builds, make sure you hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe to the channel, follow along and see what comes next. Thanks guys for your time. I appreciate it. Links down in the description below to FireStar Toys if you want to get 10% off, as well as links to some other gear and tools that I use for my videos. Check out brickanics.com. I've got t-shirts there. You can pick up one of these epic t-shirts for yourself if you like them. I've been wearing mine for a couple days. So anyways, you guys have a good one. I appreciate you. That's it, man. I'll see you in the next build. Later.